Hello, Pastor Leo here again. Just wanted to continue our study in the book of John. Today we're going to take a look at John chapter 3, verse 16. Verse very familiar, John 3:16. Many people have put it on signs. You will see it at many events. But John 3:16, probably the most famous verse out of the book of John. And we're going to start our study in that verse. The verse itself reads like this: For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life. Very simple verse. Familiar to most, if not would like for you to become familiar with it. A lot of us, as a child, I memorized this verse. But very simple verse once you break it down. Talks about God loving the world, loving the humans that he made, that he put here on earth, that he loves us, and that he loved us so much that he gave us his Son. It says here his only begotten Son. That's a very important phrase for us. Many people will consider that all human beings are sons or daughters of God. And we'll find out in our study of John that that's really not the case. We are his creation, but to become a part of his family is something special. And this word here, begotten, is something special. There is a saying out there for those who don't believe that Jesus is the only begotten Son of God and co-equal with God, God himself. I believe the saying goes like this: God does not beget, and God was not begotten. So goes straight against this verse. It speaks, I guess, to the heart of the matter. What do you believe? Is Jesus the only begotten Son of God? Or is God unbegotten and he begets not? I guess a funny word for us since it is somewhat old, not something that we use too much. But begotten is, I suppose, the modern word to conceive. A child was conceived by God, and historically we refer to him as Jesus. 2,000 years ago, he came to live on earth, representing God, the one sent by God, which we call the Christ or the Messiah, God's anointed one. This is Jesus. But it comes down to your and my personal belief. I can tell you that I believe that Jesus is the only begotten Son of God. I'm not sure what good that does you. What's necessary to receive the if you will, the then portion of the if-then statement, if you believe that Jesus is the only begotten Son of God and believe in him, then you will receive eternal life. And that's the promise of John 3:16. That's the hope of one and every Christian, to receive eternal life through faith or believing in Jesus as the Son of God. So I challenge you, part of this series, part of this video, to examine your own thoughts, examine your own heart. What do you believe about Jesus? Is he the only begotten Son of God? If you choose yes, according to this, the then statement is, then you should not perish, but have eternal life. I thank you for your time in this video. I pray that it helps you understand a little more about the Gospel of John and who Jesus is and what it takes to receive eternal life. Thank you for your time.